Right, are we all good?
Yep.
Evening, Dave. How are you?
Not too bad, Baz. How are you, dude?
I'm good. I've got a wee bit problem with my stomach again, but I think it's just the cold weather,
Yeah, it's a few bit
Keep
like
an eye-
going.
I just need to keep an eye on that, man. I didn't want to go through the same problem I went through in August, But
Sorted.
tonight we have two guests on. One of them, everybody should know who it is, but the other one, don't know much about this guy. It was Dave came to introduce me, so we'll bring in Travis first.
Hey guys,
Good afternoon, Travis.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, dude.
And our other guest is Andy from Andy's Toys and Models.
Howdy.
Yeah, Andy.
Evening, Andy.
It'd be weird for Andy doing a live stream on a Thursday instead of doing it on a Wednesday.
Oh man. Yeah, I got in trouble for not doing the last 2 Wednesdays, and now I'm on here on a Thursday.
Basically, guys, normally when we start these things up, you want to just introduce yourself, what you collect, and what you're both up to, that sort of stuff. So, Andy, if you want to go first.
Yeah, I mean, I collect a bit of everything. Can I show some stuff now, or do you want to wait until after?
Do it in a bit.
Okay. I mean, I collect mainly, I guess, minifigures would be my sort of thing, just because I can sort of get them in the house without getting in trouble. But I do enjoy the Mythic Legions, which I'm excited to see. Travis might mention that a bit later. Yeah, that's about it. I just collect a bit of everything, really. I don't have a focus. Well, other than the Battle Beasts, I guess. But I don't really have like a main focus.
Sorted. Travis?
I'm a Mythic Legions collector. Definitely, I would say that's my primary collection now. I still collect a little bit of Marvel Legends, and which I've gone through a real interesting phase with that because I was a completist and I've backed off from that quite a bit. I collect Star Wars Black, Valaverse. Have you guys got Valaverse yet?
No.
So this Valaverse is the Action Force figures. I don't know if you could really see it that well, but
I've heard about them. There's another YouTuber, Con. He's got a few of them now.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. And it's a off-brand, not off-brand, but they're really just like G.I. Joe. So the classified figures would probably be a good way to describe them. And I'm really enjoying those. I collect G.I. Joe classified, although I haven't opened a ton of those yet. And that's primarily what I am focusing on now. A lot of stuff I buy, though, because it kind of clicks in my brain and goes, that's going to work really well with Mythic Legions.
Okay.
And I kind of just buy that stuff now.
And where could we actually find you, Travis? Is it My Wife Is Going to Kill Me podcast?
Yeah.
Description?
I've been on a podcast for about 4 or 5 years now. And that's called My Wife Is Going to Kill Me. Really just started out with 2 other buddies, and it was really their idea. I'm a toy vendor, so I set up at Comic-Cons, which is actually where I met David. I was set up at Chicago. Yep, Chicago Kane County Toy Show. And I've been selling for years, and really how that all started was I bought for my son, and just kind of rekindled that whole collecting thing for me. And as I was doing that, I walked into and I bought him Motu, not classics, but 2000X.
Yes.
Yep. So I bought him a bunch of that stuff when he was probably about 4 or 5. And then I walked into a store here in town, and they had the 25th anniversary G.I. Joe bats. And I remember seeing those, and just that was a toy I absolutely loved when I was growing up. So I jumped on board with those. And just kind of went crazy buying, which I think probably a lot of us have had that moment in our life. But so then I had all these toys, and then I had too much toys, and I went and set up at a local toy show, just a small one, and just absolutely fell in love with it. So then that turned into, I will buy large lots of toys now, and I take out the pieces that I want for me, and then I just flip the rest.
Yes.
And it's kind of how I've paid for my collection.
Hopefully I've put this up right, Travis. I've put your first one in. First one up, and I've also put up the other one, so hopefully I've done that right for you.
Perfect. Yeah, those look great.
We'll put it
and that my wife is going to kill me is just a direct link to our page. The podcast is kind of evolved. A lot of times now we'll get people that'll say, I thought this podcast was about toys. And it is still about toys, but it's really kind of became more about the 4 idiots that are on it. We then also, we have another podcast called Legions Cast, and that is the Mythic Legions podcast. So if you go to Source Horseman, which is that site that was that link just came up, that's actually the 4 horsemen who created Mythic Legions. That's their website, and you can go through and they stream us on there. We've got a really good relationship with the company, which has probably become my favorite part of collecting now. But I've always kind of been I like this stuff. Like, I like talking to people. So the building relationships and the toy part is awesome too, but I like this stuff.
The people more than the collection then?
Yeah. Depending on the person.
Yeah. True.
Definitely.
Well, before we get into Mythic Legions, because I know for a fact some of the toys we don't get over here, is it right, Andy? It's only imported.
They're hard to get. They're very hard to get here. There's a few. There seems to be a few more suppliers offering them, or distributors offering them, but not like.
So before we get into Mythic Legions and Travis, the ins and outs are all about this. Andy, as a special guest, you just said you got some pickups. Do you want to show your pickups before we carry on?
But I only got a couple of sporadic as my collection is. I collect, as I said, minifigures. I got a couple more Bad Eggs Punch. Don't know if you guys are too familiar with them.
I've heard of them, like.
But they're just
they're quite cool.
Another early 90s little mini lineup.
Like me, man. You like your minifigs.
Yeah.
Old Beast, Laser Beast.
Well, then another minifigure, the mini Jackalman from Thundercats.
Whoa.
Nice.
But then it goes a bit weird because then I end up getting a turtle, which I'm not really a massive turtles collector, but this figure is awesome. Although he has got a broken leg, so I need to decide whether I'm going to open him and try and fix him, which I probably will. But I didn't realize the break was quite as severe as it was, or as it is. Smuggler's Canyon is the one that first introduced me to this figure.
Even Smuggle?
Toy Palloy, he might be able to help you. Maybe fix that, Andy. Maybe give you some ideas on how to attach the leg.
Probably if it's still mint condition card, you don't want to really take it off card, do you? That's the killer.
I mean, I don't have an issue with opening carded figures. I know it's frowned upon in the community, but I don't know what to do. But that was it for this week.
Nice, dude. Travis, anything new this week, dude, you want to show off, or just for new pickups?
Oh, geez.
If you got
I got to first, Andy, I got a buddy who, that stuff you were holding up, man, that's the kind of stuff he is totally into.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's funny because I don't have that nostalgia bug. I like when a new figure comes out of the old figure, I'm out with the old and with the new kind of guy.
Okay.
But it's funny how, man, you're holding that stuff up and I'm like, that's exactly what my buddy Jeremy would buy. And which is the fun part about toy collecting is because there's a little bit for everybody, right?
Yeah.
All right. So remember when I was talking about buying stuff that I just thought fit in with Mythic Legions?
Yes.
This is Beasts of the Mesoic. And it's really just a pretty cool dinosaur line. Kickstarter is where I got hooked up with these. And they do have a website too as well, but I've always just kind of had a thing for dinosaurs. And then when I think that I can buy one of these and put a Mythic Legion Goblin riding on top of it, it just kind of makes me happy. So,
see, I've seen pictures of them, Travis, but I've never actually seen one properly. They look amazing.
It's beautifully done, beautiful paint job, and it's hard because like I mean, you could go in almost any store right now over here in America and buy Jurassic Park figures, which can fill that same role for a lot less money. But the paint on these and the articulation for me kind of sets it apart and makes me want those. So, and that was a fun one that I picked up. I'm trying to think, I guess anything else recent. I did just get a figure, which I don't have it sitting here in front of me, but NECA, American Werewolf in London, the werewolf.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and relatively new figure. I love werewolf figures too, and it's something that I feel like still fits in with the collection that I'm trying to have. So, and I just say that when I have a werewolf sitting like right here.
Oh, that's nice. I'll put you on the big screen so everybody can see that. Whoa.
Who did that one?
This is it's Creature Replica, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
I'd have to double check on that one, but I'm pretty sure I got that right. I hate to tell you this, guys, when it comes to actual knowledge, I am not the guy.
That's okay. Never mind.
You'll pick it up and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, my guy is the guy next to me. I'm not sure about.
I think as far as like new pickups, that's probably all that I've had recently.
Sweet. Well, Baz, I've only got two things before you go crazy. I opened up one of the Gormiti figures from last week. I got carded. Something different. So... And then basically, I was up the lot yesterday, and basically, someone mentioned it a couple of weeks ago in a chat, and I thought I found a large Cubics figure.
I have no recollection of either of them. I mean, the first one looked pretty cool, but that's.
Did you never, mind there was I think it was like a CGI cartoon kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was it early 2000s, Dave? That come out?
Something like that, yeah. I say the other one is just like a Gormiti 3 or 4 third season. I just like those, So that's it. That's all I got this week. So,
Baz, two nice unusual bits.
Yeah, a couple of usual bits. So,
to answer that question real quick, you just had up. I did see Dog Soldiers. Absolutely loved it, and I feel like these figures almost hit that line perfectly. Sorry, guys.
All
Evening, Leo. Just can you catch up the chat before? You
guys mentioned.
I would love them. I wish they did a part 2 of that because that was a good movie.
Dog Soldiers was good. Both of those toys that you just showed, David, it absolutely amazes me because as much as I'm around toys, like when I see something I've never seen before, it's kind of fun.
These are normally Europe and that sort of stuff. We never got them in the country at all. We only got season 1. America, I don't know. That's something different. And the Cubics, I said I've had it in 91. It's literally, there's never been out its box. I just found it in the last dead box. I sort of take it out its box. It's a really oldie robot,
It looks pretty decent.
Yeah.
Right.
So, go on, Baz.
Well, first thing I'll just show because it's down here quickly. I do like picking up Doctor Who stuff, but the only reason I picked this guy up was because of the robot.
Yeah, it looks good. I like his purple head. It's all like purple in his visor.
Because I believe when they come out, Dave, it was a builder figure for that robot, wasn't it?
There's a builder figure for a 6 or 7, 8 piece figures that you bought all of them to complete the robot.
And everybody knows me, man. I've never played Fortnite in my life, but I love the characters. I love the figures. So I've actually went and picked up one of the new Hasbro Fortnite figures. This guy's Ripley. And the good thing about it, so you could actually take his little head off and you can actually pose his tiny little head.
Well, that's Hasbro, isn't it, Baz?
It is. That's it's new Hasbro line. So, and the articulation of it is probably better than probably the Jazzwares to a degree. He's a bit, because he's got the belt round him, it is a bit harder to put him into a certain pose, but I'm not kind of tempted to go and pick up the rest of the wave.
I reckon you secretly play Fortnite. You pick them up a lot.
Well, my nephew plays it.
Yeah.
I have tried it, but it's not my cup of tea. But I
The
do like
characters are good though.
I like some of the characters like Peely.
Yeah,
the banana.
The banana. But man, I meant to show these off last week. This when I went to the boot sale, I only picked up 3 items, so picked up this guy. This is from, is it Super Samurai Squad, Dave?
Yeah, right? Superhuman Samurai Squad. It's Kilo Khan, mainly the main bad guy from the series.
Because it's weird, because the week before, or 2 weeks before, I went and picked up one of the monsters for it, thinking it was Power Ranger / something else. Also picked up a Power Ranger bad guy. Andy might like this one.
Oh, it's Aaron the Sins of Mighty Ducks, not me. Aaron's the Mighty Ducks guy.
This is the third one I've got now, so it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn. Then, was it last Thursday, I went to the charity shop. You might like this one, Andy. But I found this guy in a charity shop.
I did like that. You put that, I can't remember. Did you show that on the last video you did?
Yeah.
Did you figure out what it's from?
It's Battlehawks. It's like a knockoff to Space Cowboys.
Oh wow! Okay.
I know you like and I know you like the Space Cowboy stuff, kind of thing, eh?
Yeah.
And then this was a weird one, but I found out this is from the Camelot movie, The Quest for Camelot. Didn't know they actually made a toy line for these. And then everybody, thing is, I really love the Minimate, so we have a pound shop. It's only been up for probably about 1.5 years now. Cried One Below, just like the Five Below kind of thing. So
yeah,
I've picked up some more of these.
And they're literally costing you £1.
These ones were £2.
Yeah, but still, I'm sure when that stuff came out, they were really expensive in
like
Forbidden Planet and
stuff. I think, but Andy from like Forbidden Planet and that sort of stuff. You know.
Yeah, picked
or
up
$20 for Travis.
Picked up a gargoyle.
Yeah.
Gourmet. I didn't usually pick up from in Hot Wheels, but I went to Aldi's last week and managed to find another the new Batman car thing, and then I found
the weird one,
the weird looking one. Andy might like this, but this is another one. I've never played the game, but I've seen a lot of folk picking this guy up. I just like the look of him.
Oh, he does look good. Andy's done classic Andy, and I've just touched something on my phone, and now I don't know how to get back to the picture. I can see you, but it's gone really dark. If I exit myself, I'm coming back, but I'm just...
Yeah. And then the day went to
that's it.
quickly, and they had these in.
And that's still in the pound shop?
No, these were in the charity shop, Andy.
Oh. You got much better charity shops than I do around here.
Yeah, I know.
The last couple of weeks, then the charity shops have been like kind of dead, but I think the charity shops...
Andy, so.
Yeah,
I think with charity shops, it's this luck kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You kind of got to be there at the right time, right moment. But it's like when I went last week and I seen that guy in the 50 pence bin, I was like, well, he's coming home with me. It just looked new. I didn't know what it was until we had the Theo on last week, and it was Theo that told me exactly what it was.
Okay.
I mean, I spent like 2 days trying to find that guy on the internet. I've done Google search and not find anything.
I think that's part of the fun, though, picking up stuff you don't know what it is and actually trying to figure out, finding out about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's That's everything I've got so far.
Right,
Still got a wee bit to go though.
Right then, either you two guys down below, Travis or Andy, we've been hearing a lot about the Mystic Legions in toy groups, toy chats, even the people are joining the chat tonight. It's like, any of you guys know how it started, all about it, what they do, what they cross, that sort of stuff, and how to get into it if you wanted to without spending a lot of money?
I mean, I think Travis is going to be able to answer all of those questions a lot better than I can. I'm like a magpie. I just go for things that I like, and I don't know much about the history of them at all. But apart from it was a startup, or was it a startup company or what? Yeah.
So I'm just going to give you a little bit of the history from my my understanding, and that is Four Horsemen Studios, who's been designing toys for 20 plus years. They did a Kickstarter for this line.
That was it, Kickstarter.
Yep. Which I don't even remember how I saw it. I probably had a buddy show it to me because he was in love with Four Horsemen Studios from their work on Masters of the Universe Classics, and they did a ton of stuff before that. Spawn. I mean, just a studio that's been involved with probably almost every major brand out there, I would think. Yeah. And so then they did this Kickstarter, and it was one of those Kickstarters that for me, it was an easy get in early. I was looking for a Dungeons and Dragons like line. Always really loved that kind of story. And the last real good one around, I'm pretty sure, was probably Lord of the Rings. And which was a great toy line, but never really caught my fancy. And then I ended up seeing these, and it was one of those Kickstarters. And have you guys done Kickstarters before?
We don't get many Kickstarters in the UK, honestly, Travis. We only get occasionally the Hasbro Pulse, but not through Pulse. I don't think we through third parties or that sort of stuff.
Yep. So, but like HasLab then.
Yeah.
The Hasbro ones, like I'm literally waiting for 4 figures for them to show up at my house today. But HasLab, it's the same kind of premise, right? So what happens though, the difference with the Kickstarter was they would put out a figure that this is going to be a goal figure, and we're going to try and get to this. And what happened was they kept blowing through those levels. Yeah. And so all of a sudden, and I don't know what their plan was as far as how big the line was actually going to be, but all of a sudden it went from 8 figures in this first wave of this Kickstarter to 20 plus in the first wave. Because people just were crazy funding it, and blew through all that. And then, so now the line over the last 5 or 6 years, has just continued to just grow. They did another Kickstarter, which ended up being 40 plus figures. And then now they're to the point where they kind of have it rolling. And of course, COVID affected a lot of stuff with it, but they're doing a line early. Speak of the devil. This guy right here is actually one of the 4 horsemen.
Dave, if he wants to come on, let us know. We'll put the link up now if the 4 horsemen guy wants to come on.
Hey, Cornboy, if you want to come on and talk about yourself,
he'd love to get a 4 horseman.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Go ahead and jump in, buddy.
If you want to pop on, Baz, if you want to put the stream up.
It's this toy line then that's just kind of continued to just evolve with different races and lines and all these things that I've been super excited about. And so now the hard part is if you're a completist, it's a tough line to ever.
It's got to be horrible to try and complete, surely.
Yeah. Yep. And I was lucky enough. I got in the beginning. So, and to get to that point of this whole process is like, if you're in the beginning, you're getting these figures for $35 US.
Yep.
Which I don't know what that means to you guys.
30 quid.
Yeah. But so at $35, you're getting a pretty amazing toy, especially if you start to compare it to some of the other stuff out there. It's just built really well. It's made for people that like to, I would say, play with your toys.
Yeah.
But also, if you're one of these people that likes to pull that toy apart and create your own, they've made it so you can do that. Like it's so modular. So I'll just hold one up, and this might not be the. So this is just like a basic, knight builder. Okay, and they call it. Go ahead.
They just did their like army building
wave. Yeah.
Like.
Yep. Yep.
I had to restrain myself, but there was a lot.
Well, I didn't restrain myself. I certainly have a problem. But what happened was, you could get these if you get in on the pre-orders. I love the plan that these guys have. It pretty much comes down to buy our stuff from us in the beginning through a pre-order. We're going to give you the best price you're ever going to see at it. And then you jump in at that point. And I even tell people, I'm like, just buy every figure in the wave. I know it's crazy, but every single figure literally doubles, if not quadruples in price.
It's crazy.
It's a weird thing. And I know there's tons of toys out there that if you're talking about value and how much, I totally get that. But it seems like every time a new wave of this comes out, you immediately get new people that want to get in. And it's because of toy photography, these people that do these amazing customs. And I have a friend from Sweden who he did the Avengers. So there's a Captain America, a Thor, Hulk, and it's just this beautiful custom set. And that picture on Instagram just blows up.
Yeah.
And so then you have all these people going, hey, what is this? And now they're trying to buy in afterwards, which, I mean, we know how it works. I mean, the prices just climb there. But if it's something you're interested in, I say, hey, you jump on board now. You start buying at this cost that you'll never see again. And let's say you decide you don't like them. Okay, trade them or flip them or whatever you choose to do. But I'll tell you, it's a line that when you open one of these figures up and you start to actually play around with it, I can't tell you how many friends who have never painted.
Yeah, buddy. Amazing.
And I'll tell you what, that's probably one of the first figures that sucked me in. That figure right there. And it was something about that red paint, on that skull coming down his face. I loved it. And so that figure right there is a good example too. He comes with another head. You pop that head off, you put that head on, and now you can have 3 skeletons that all look like the leader with the red standing right behind him. Which, I mean, the name Legion Builders, I mean, these guys were genius. Mythic Legions. It's a line that they really do want you to not just buy one figure. Like this knight was a good example for me because I needed. I'm going to want 12 of him. I'm going to want him standing there. And then I'm going to want, a whole bunch of men and women standing behind them.
Yeah.
This is their elf Legion Builder. And it's another one of these figures. So these ran about $22 when I bought them, maybe 25 tops. But so for us, that's the cost of a Marvel Legend over here.
Yeah.
And he's coming with all these swords, 3 different heads. So you can pop this head off and make them, all these different characters. And I quickly fell in love with them. And I have no artistic ability, but like my friends, like guys that have never painted are like, hey, I think I'm going to start painting toys now. And they're not painting miniatures, they're painting these, and that's the Black Knight, which he's missing a little bit of stuff too, but
I think that one was in their latest Legion builder, but it sold out before I got on the site.
Yeah. So when you go, you're buying them right off the site, off Source Horseman then, right? Or Store Horseman, sorry.
I think his name's Tibus.
Yep.
This one and this one.
Yep.
I actually got them through a UK vendor.
Okay.
Is there an echo through me? No.
There you go. You're fine.
But then I've also bought I'm so bad with the names. The first one I got is like
the Battle Cat and He-Man versions of them.
Yeah,
or
it's
something?
like Trapjaw.
Yeah.
The Green Skull and the Panther one.
Oh yeah.
Again, I found them in a UK shop, and they were quite cheap. They were like I think £35 or £39 each, which was cheaper than like going through eBay or anything like that.
$50, Travis.
50. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much the going rate, especially when you get to like secondary retailers. Now, of course, I mean, you can raise your price, you know, whatever you want it to be, but yeah.
This was the first one I got through Store Horseman or whatever it's called, the Krampus that they did just at Christmas gone.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest, the experience was so like it sounds a bit strange to say pleasant transaction, but like there was no hassle with it.
Yeah.
Like I just ordered it. They told me when it was coming, and it turned up within like 4 days. It was ridiculously quick.
Yeah.
Like I know you're saying about like people like to play with them and stuff like that. I'm so scared of breaking something. I've got to be honest.
So here's what I will tell you. It is pretty sturdy plastic.
It's not like a then, and then Necker's over here.
It's not as sturdy as this guy. I mean, this guy I can bend and mold.
That guy's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a daunting thing if you're somebody that's a completist and feels like you have to go back and get those figures you just held up there. The two of them, they were all stars. Which what the Four Horse would do is once a year they'll do an all-star wave, and they let the fans actually vote for who is going to be in that wave. And so you'll get these figures that, you know, are $300 now, $200 plus for us, that all of a sudden the Horsemen are like, hey, we're going to re-release them. And they put them back out and give you the opportunity to get them again for $35.
Do you think there's any chance of them re-releasing the bird ones? Like I think it's like Flamingus, Eagleass.
Yep.
I mean, those are so wicked, but the price
I know Dan Plastic was after one of the bird ones.
Yeah, Dan really wants the Flamingus. I think it's pronounced Flamingas or Flamingos. Yeah. But I mean, the secondary sale on them is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's on big screens, Baz.
You know, it's funny because I'm not even really a bird guy. Well, I guess I am. I've become that a little bit more now. But when I saw these, I was like, yeah, I just have to have them.
Yeah.
The level of detail and just kind of the fun, like weird, you know, birds that you never really would have thought of. Hey, Christopher.
Halo boat. Oh, he's got another one.
It's like a pelican. Like,
the detail on it's unbelievable, ain't they?
Yeah. And that's the fun thing too about that line is they do a good job of having like these different scales. Like the birds, you know, they're going to stand, you know, at a different shape and size. And then you start to get into, let's see, like the ogre scale.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, they're huge.
Yeah. And I'll grab one of these off the shelf real quick too, just so I can give you a better idea about the size on these. But
you in the mark?
So you have your standard Mythic Legion. You know, it's going to be about, I think, on 7 inches probably.
Yeah.
Probably 7 inches tall.
Yeah, about that.
Yep. And then you go to your ogre.
So good.
Yeah. And you know, that's going to run, I want to say they're about, it seems like about 10 inches
it
tall.
must be 9, 10 inches, must be.
Yep. So then from there they go.
Yeah, so you got the is it Ice Troll?
Yeah, how do you called it, man?
Look at the sword, that sword.
You know, and
that is mental, man.
Oh, the detail on that is just.
Yeah.
Even the sword's like clear plastic or clear zinc, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, and not only that, I think you actually could kill someone with this.
So just figure you probably could. It's got some weight to it, right?
The one that you showed off there, Travis. How much does that usually go for now? Then,
so if you get in on the pre-orders, those run there. I want to say $90 to $100. If you don't get it then though, then you're looking at $175, $200, $300. Yeah, the trolls jump. They're a cool piece. They're expensive on the front end, which to me the $90 isn't that bad, but a lot of people just don't. They're so big, so people are like, I can't fit that in my collection. For whatever reason they pass. While of course then when they see the pictures or they go to a show and see it on the shelf, or they get to see their friends, or it's like it's one of those toys. Like I feel like you just kind of got to have it. And these guys, Four Horsemen Studios, it's evident that they, they're toy guys. Like they're fans. Like they're nerds. They love this stuff. And so like they do like those little things like Ice Troll. And I don't know how well a camera's going to pick it up, but do you guys do these horns, do they look familiar to you?
Is it off the Bell Rod from Lord of the Rings?
Oh, I like that.
The only thing I can think of. Andy?
I was going to say a Tuscan, but then I don't. No, not a Tuscan. Sorry.
I think you are headed to the right place.
The Star. Oh my God! What's the Star Wars? Oh, I can't believe I forgot his name.
Is it the Banfa? Banfa?
No, the ice one.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Han cuts one open to keep Luke alive. Tauntaun. There we go.
Yeah, Tauntaun. So like the horns, it's an ice troll. It's got those. So like they do like these little kind of things that are like, hey, look, we love Star Wars. We love He-Man. We love this stuff. They make homage figures to like people that are out there in the industry. They've made a couple homage figures right now to fans who have passed, and all the proceeds from this figure went to that person's wife. They're like us. They're these dudes that are just sitting around going, man, we love toys. We want to make the best toys we can, and we want to make sure our fans can get them.
Yeah.
Now,
Travis, is that toy Four Horsemen guy still in the chat? Or do you know him personally?
I don't know if he's still in there because I don't have the chat up. I bet he is probably gone. Would be my guess.
I did put that up. I
Did you?
think it just popped in just to say hi, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I shared the live stream on one of our Facebook pages, so
yeah.
We might get a few people.
I'm not going to take Travis's spotlight away from him. Thanks.
No.
That sounds like him too.
So Travis, how many? Is it 6 or 7 different lines they do, or different factions or something? Is it? I've seen.
It's right around there.
9?
Yep. And they've got a pretty rich story that they've been putting together. There's a video game that is coming out. I think that's within the next year. I might be a little off on that, but that was also a Kickstarter, and fans were allowed to have a lot of input on that, and we'll see what happens. It's I think it's a turn-by-turn game. I'm pretty excited about it, just from the standpoint of kind of getting more backstory to the characters.
Yeah.
A Mystic Legion video game, man, that would be cool.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, everything, they're showing a lot of it online right now, and man, it is it looks cool. Wampa and a Tauntaun. It's a great one right there.
Yeah.
I've pre-ordered the next Christmas. I think it's like Christmas this year, meant to be coming out, like the dragon. Oh my God, I can't even remember which other ones
I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name either.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to pronounce it anyway.
You're right. So,
yeah, but
glad it's not just me then.
No, heck no, dude. And they take pride in this. They love. I think they love making me look dumb on this podcast. I think it's like their favorite thing. What word can Travis not pronounce?
No, but it's like dinosaurs, isn't it? There's some of them dinosaurs at the moment coming out. It's,
oh yeah,
it's tongue twisters, isn't they?
Yeah. Which, I get it. Hey, if you're going to create your own toy, you want to spice it up a little bit, go for it. But that's a great one. That blue, it's like a dragonborn, half man, half dragon, and I'm like, yeah.
And again, he looks bigger than someone like the knights that were in that line.
Yep.
Yep.
He's
technically then, the mold of the story then, Trav, is it like they've got the scale right, they've done all the different legions they do and that sort of stuff. The scale's completely different to every single figure, like other companies, and it's always based on trolls, mythic legions, like the title it says.
Yeah. Yep. They do have a cosmic line coming out, and I'll tell you, looking at some of those toys you guys are holding up, it seems like it would be the thing that will interest you guys because it's more of a space kind of thing. And I can't. It's hard to really put a finger on how. But I feel like if you were like a Micronauts fan, obviously Star Wars or anything like that, but it's almost like I feel like they got a real video game vibe to them as well. But that's a sweet looking line that will be out, I think, probably next year at some time. And that's the hard part with a company like this is, there's a lot of moving parts going on around, and it's a small company. So, like, we just got to figure.
Is it like the Super 7 then? You make them to limited to order and then they don't make any more? Is that right?
Yeah, they do a pre-order. They buy stock for them to sell at shows and online to an extent. But when it's gone, it's gone. Yeah.
I saw pictures on one of
the cosmic ones. Like, I don't want to go down another rabbit hole, but I might have to have a look at them.
Have a look. They're all good. There's the again, I can't think of any of their names, but some of them I wasn't too keen on. Just 'cause I'm not a big although I like Star Wars and stuff, I'm not that big into space. I much prefer the medieval looking
with goblins and trolls and
yeah. But there was one that's like in his the space helmet. It's just a big green head. He looked huge. I think he must be the big boy out of the group. But
So Andy, if they'd done like a space cowboy kind of theme, you'd be.
Oh yeah, I'll go to that.
I feel like that's going to be a line that's going to go kind of all over the place. And we'll see, but I think you definitely are going to have some interesting options with that line. What's your favorite Mythic Legion, and also what is the best entry level figure to go for? I would say any Barbarian is going to be your best entry level figure to go for. The deluxe one's a little tough because that runs about $25 cheaper than just a regular figure. But it seems like the Barbarian ones, or anything that kind of fits that, I don't want to say quite He-Man, but like that He-Man Conan kind of vibe. Like, I'd say make sure you grab those. Those seem to go
up and up and up.
Yeah. Almost every. I mean, this guy right here that I was just holding up is the Motu tribute figure to He-Man, Adamon, and he, like, I
don't think you could find him in the UK for love nor money.
Honestly, Andy, I haven't seen many shops in the UK of the Forbidden Planet. Don't even sell them. No, very limited.
Yeah, it was only a couple of online guys that had them.
So
it's one of the things where you did the live stream with me and Baz thought of it, because we always talk about it on Toy Division and everything else. It's like, I know you collected, and I thought I was hoping I could get Travis on, which he said yes, and thanks for coming on the show.
I say I collect. I've got 5.
Yeah, honestly, you've got more than me. And I was like, it's one toy line I've been so much thinking about. And even asked Travis in 18 or 19, or when I went to see him, about this certain figure. He was like, ask me, like, if you come next year, ask me next year, you might have it in stock. It's, it's one of them rabbit holes that I'd like to get into, but we just don't get them over in the UK.
No, I mean, it definitely is a rabbit hole. But I kind of regret. Travis mentioned earlier about when they do the pre-orders, you should just go big and get buy all of them. I regret not doing that. The Templar Knight, I think.
Yep, Templar Knight, and this was a one that was just available again. That's a figure I would say jump on if you get a chance, and you'll find that around now. People were able to buy them. It should be something that is showing up online. Beautiful figure. I think that's a great one to start with as well, because it's just beautiful, and people have done a lot of fun stuff with it. I'm going to grab another one of mine that my buddy customized for me just to show you what you can do.
Well, it'll show you if you're talented enough, you can do. I'm sure I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. I can't do it. Okay. So let's see.
I'll put them on big screen.
So
I like the skull one.
Yep, you got your regular Templar. Yep, that's how he's pretty much going to come from the studio. And then, so like my buddy, this is a custom head from a company over here called My Action Figure Customs, and he just took it and grimied it up, put the skeleton head on it, and just made it like it was an undead Templar.
Right.
As far as what my favorite personal figure is, I'm gonna go grab that too. I'm sorry, like my goal here was not to just keep showing you guys my butt every time.
It's what we asked you on, because it's like we ain't got the toys, and you're the expert.
This room just seems to go on and on and on. It's like Aladdin's cave down there.
It's funny. I had a buddy from Sweden, Emil Wickman, and we talked about how in America how large our toy rooms were compared
anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
You're probably in the basement, or we're like in a little apartment. It's like squeezed in.
And and that's it. Like I'm in my basement in a room that's bigger than probably a lot of people's bedrooms, and it's like, man, that's Americans. We are nuts.
Oh,
he's wicked.
So this is Arether, and he's kind of one of the big bads of the toy line.
In that wingspan, you need a hell of a lot of space just to put that up. Like
you do. And that's I would say too, this is a line where I'm not saying you got to buy every single figure. But I would you find the ones you love and you snag those. If you're a completist, I don't know if this is the line for you.
How many of them?
Gosh, a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
Do they actually come painted like that, Travis, or do you need to put a tiny bit of paintwork on yourself?
This is exactly how we came.
Gosh.
Yep.
It's so good.
And this to me is
a shame, don't it?
This to me is I would say is one of the coolest toys ever made, in my personal opinion, of course. But I absolutely love this figure, and it's going to be hard for anything else to top it for me. The sword that comes with him.
That's with the flaming sword.
Gosh, why can't I find the camera?
Whoa.
Oh,
so good.
And then, that's just an effect too, so. And the line that you're talking about will be out, that we just got to order just recently, that Poxus Wave, there was figures in that where they had just totally upped their game, where they went to these beautiful cloth robes from Siegesm, and just some cool stuff. That there's a lot of it out there.
The wizards and witches and stuff. Yeah.
Which it's one of those things where I think they're going to keep up in their game, and it'll be funny. And we know a lot of toy lines are like this, but all of a sudden you're going to be having this beautiful, totally updated, and I'm going to compare it to, and it's not a great example because it's just a basic army builder with no paint on it. But I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, the improvements that have come have just been
at least, Travis, they actually put the work into either the basic or the mega one and different and that sort of stuff, isn't it? With army builders, they want to give it cheap as possible so you can army build them at the right price. The bigger ones, you're paying for that special effects and everything else, don't you? The paint job is second to none, isn't it?
Yep. The other thing too that I don't like, the paint makes a world of a difference with these toys because, I mean, they have the same body. You know, a lot of them have the same body. You know, they're, and we all know that this is how toy companies have to do this so they can, but they have the same body. But then when you take a figure and you add those paint aspects to it, it's just amazing what they have been able to do.
Even the finish is so good. Like I don't buy a lot of NECA stuff, but I really was excited to get the Defenders of the Earth line that they did. And I ended up selling them because I was so disappointed with it. Like every time you took the hands off to put a different hand on, the paint's just scratching away. The paint was just chipping. Even in the box, you could see the paint was rubbing on the plastic on the inside. Like it was so bad.
Yeah. It's hard for me because I don't buy a ton of NECA. So
I probably wouldn't again after that.
Yep. Well, and I've heard that the new stuff that's coming out is much better, but the line you're talking about was pretty recent, isn't it?
It was only last year.
Yeah.
Like middle to end of last year. But I heard a lot of people say the same thing. They just, for some reason, wasn't.
For example, Andy, I know this is not NECA. I'm going to end up destroying it. But I picked up one of these a few months back.
Oh yeah.
I've seen a lot of folk reviewing them, and it's like, I know it's Lanyard, it's not the biggest company out there kind of thing, but the details on this guy for the price you're paying and the quality, man, it's a good figure.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of people say that they're really good.
I need to take this guy out of the box and put him on the Alien and Predator shelf. At the minute, I just don't have the room.
Travis, before we open the whole live stream up to anyone else who wants to jump on, ask you questions, or even show their own collection, Tom, the link is that easy to follow. It's unreal. Do you want to show your stuff off now, or do you want to leave it to the last, 15, 20 minutes? I don't know how long it'll take you.
An hour?
It's up to you. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and open it up, and then I'll try and get my phone going, and then whenever you guys are ready, we can.
How long will it take you, roughly, Travis? Roughly?
To go through my collection?
Yeah.
I guess it really depends on how much you guys want to see. Like it's easy to do
It's up to you what you want to show off, if you can, if it's possible. Because like we've been talking about it almost like an hour. You want to see a collection that you don't want to start, but it's unbelievable to see.
We definitely could do that.
Yeah.
I imagine after this eBay search engine in UK, it's just going to be like Mythic Legion.
Okay, let me. I'll try and get my phone going here, and then.
Do you want to do it now, Travis, or do you want to do it like the last 15, 20 minutes of the stream? It's up to you.
How about we do the last 15, 20 minutes? I think that might be probably best.
The big spectacular finish at the end.
What's that?
We'll do the big spectacular finish at the end of it then.
Yeah. If that works for you guys.
Yeah.
I want to try and
grab a figure. When I put the link up in the chat, if anyone wants to come on, show any new toys off, ask Travis any questions, anything you like, guys, just jump on for 10, 15, 20, it's up to you. You can use your phone, which I'm doing. I think, Andy, you're on your phone as well?
Yeah, and fingers crossed it hasn't.
All you need to do is just click the link, do a voice test, and come straight on in the background. Baz will, to say new person on. I say if you guys got any Mythic Legion questions to how you've asked, even Andy knows probably more than me. I'm going to hold my hands up. I don't know much. That's why I asked Andy to come on, because he knows more than me.
As I said, I'm just like a magpie. I just saw them. Yeah. I was like, I'll have them.
I know Travis is the guru.
Well, I like it. I like it too, Andy, because you're the perfect example of somebody who's just getting in. Really,
yeah. As I said, the He-Man crossover ones. And at first, I didn't realize that the skeleton one I bought was part of that. I just liked it because he was a skeleton, and then now that's all gone downhill.
So, Aaron, if you want to come on for a bit, you're more than welcome. Or Tez, you want to come on for a bit?
I think Tez is working, so he did say he was going to try and sneak in like a ninja into the chat.
I'm going to try and grab. You mentioned earlier about other figures that work well with the Mythic Legions, and I got the Well, from Aaron actually, Empire Toys, it keeps popping up. He got me a Lightning Force Power Ranger bad guy, which it's a bird. I can't remember. I'm so bad with the names of these things.
Too bad.
Something like that.
Too bad.
It kind of fits with them. I'm gonna just try and scurry off without knocking over the phone and grab it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Connor's asking you, Travis, you got any marriage advice for collectors wanting to get into Mystic Legions?
You know, I tell you, when I was at shows, that's where the name of our podcast came from. Like, people would keep coming in and go, "Man, I'd really love to get this, but my wife is gonna kill me." Yeah. And I was like, so then one time I got asked, they're like, "Hey, what do you want the name of your toy booth to be?" And I was like, my wife's gonna kill me. And it just kind of stuck. And I gotta tell you, the best thing to do as far as getting a spouse involved in this, it easily is get them addicted to.
I think there's questions. What's the first thing you collected from the start, Travis, or something? The guy's asking.
Oh, I think he's. What's
is
the
that just collecting in general?
Yeah.
Well, for me, that got me into collecting was this guy.
Yeah, Trapjaw. Yeah, Trapjaw.
Yeah, Trapjaw. Did you find the bird, Andy?
This is my original. Yeah. This is my original. So I've had this for nearly 30 odd years. And the rubber bands in it is actually still quite solid for something that was made in the 80s.
So, Buzz, did you never stop collecting then?
To be honest with you, I've never really grew up. I've always. Me and my brother have this conversation because my brother's not a collector, but he likes like the nostalgia of the 80s and the 90s stuff. I've kind of never stopped. I've always collected as a kid kind of thing. There was a few, probably when I kind of started high school, I kind of geared up for a while, but then it just kind of come back. Once I was clearing out the loft one day, and then I come across the Trapjaw, and that's like my original. He's missing one of the accessories, but man, he's been with me for years now, kind of thing. I've always collected. My dad's kind of just got kind of round to the idea is like, hey, you're in your 40, you're 40 now, so why are you still collecting things? But he knows it's a passion, and now he kind of knows the value of certain aspects of the stuff, and he's like, so he says, when you retire, you're going to be a millionaire, and it's like, I wish, kind of thing. But no, I've always liked action figures. I don't know, I can't explain the feeling. Yeah, it's a weird.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It makes you happy.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Quick question, Travis. Is there like a Mythic Legion's Holy Grail figure? Everyone talks about the Holy Grails in their collections. Is there like a thing in Mythic Legions or that company? Is there the go-to sexy one?
It's hard because there's a bunch of figures that I'd say probably fit that. Otho is a good one. Big black dreads. I could grab him off the shelf too, but he's
just show it in base when you do your room tour, or you
perfect.
You want to point them out then.
Yep, I would say probably
you probably use it for your only save you bits,
It's probably Adamon would be a good one too. He's probably $250, $300.
Crazy, just because he's like a He-Man homage.
And the hard part about that too, so you get the He-Man fans, so you get that, and then you get the they've kind of said that, hey, these ones they're never available again for like the All-Star wave. So like the Motu homage ones, they're gonna make them once and that's it.
Yeah.
Now we'll see, I know that's what they've said. We'll see what happens, of course. I always think one day they're going to want to make all the money they can, and they're just going to be totally unscrupulous business people. But for some reason, it doesn't seem like that's ever going to happen. Because if I was them, I would pump this guy right back out again. But they're not doing it.
No, do the birds first. I want to try and get my hands on the birds at a decent price.
The birds are good ones too, you know, because it's ones I don't know if they're gonna redo the birds.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why that price you see that's a line that might not come back around.
Yeah.
They also did test shots, which I'll show you those too. You know, so they got figures sent to them from the factory, and then they put those up for sale for fans on their website. And it was it was like a real quick, but you know, it's almost, it's not quite a prototype, but it's, you know, it's close. It's a cool piece. And so those are, I mean, because I think the first few waves they did, there was like only 8 of them. So it's one that you're like, there's only 8 of that figure. And I'll show you guys a few of those too, you know, on the toy tour. But I would say Otho's a great one. Rhaegor is another great one. I don't think we'll see Rhaegor again. Rhaegor was one of those ones that a fan who passed away, they did an homage figure, and like they're not going to redo that figure again.
Yeah.
You know, they did that for a fan's family. I just don't foresee them doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that earlier. I didn't, like, as I say, I'm new to the line, so I don't know. I can't pretend that I know everything. But like, I never knew that before, and I think that's a really like nice thing to do.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
It's weird because it's a community. I mean, it's a great example. You know, one of the owners was in the chat. You know, like
that's
they like this stuff. They're in on this. They they support.
They're always listening out there and watching chats, listening, taking people's advice, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
It's just a company. It seems like they're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
It's like for me, man, the Mystic Legions, there is a couple I want to get the now, but man, they are quite hard, and I keep checking for price wise. I have seen them for like 60 quid, but I keep missing out on them, and that is the Panfor, like the He-Man that inspired ones. I would love to get the either Skeletor / from Trapjaw, because I love Trapjaw. Trapjaw is probably one of my favorite He-Man villains. So I've got the 2000X one, I've got the original one. I'm hoping to try and get the Revelations version of them as well at some point, and then I need to get the Origins just to finish off Skeletor's gang kind of thing. But
there's a lot of options out there, and I'll tell you that the Motu ones I think are great ones to get in on. Every one of them has been really cool. They just did a Mossman one where they actually have an orc who's flocked, which is cool. It's just
the skunk as well, I think, was part of the crossover line.
Yeah,
it's like the little like Sir Skunk-a-Lot or whatever his name is, but like he's really cool.
I think if they've done like a Thundercat one, I mean, I'd be all over that. It'd be cool to get like a Lionel kind of thing, or even a Mumra.
See, I'm more of a Thundercats guy, so if they did that, then I definitely would be eating beans and noodles for the rest of the month to be paid, going all in on them. I'd be like, whatever it costs, get me, I'll have them. But yeah, that'd be cool. Have like a big jacked up snarf like that.
That would be wild, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that's another fun thing about this line and this community. Like I've seen Thundercat customs. I've seen where just collectors and artists have then taken these figures and kind of gone down that road a little bit. And I think it was just a Panthro one that I saw. So I don't want to say that for sure, but I'm almost positive somebody has done a Thundercats one. And I know that obviously the Avengers one I talked about. There's people have done like a Turtles. There's this artist, Eric Miller. He did the Turtles, and they were all orcs, and they had like, because they have a shell back shield, and I'll show you guys that too. But a guy painted them all up to look like the Turtles. I mean, it's just neat.
It's almost like endless
The Turtle ones, man, they look amazing, man. It's like I've got I'm in a Discord as well, and I've got another guy. He's from America as well. His name is, funny enough, his name is Travis, but he does a lot of toy photography, and he's been kind of giving me little hints because I've kind of gone to I'm trying my hand at it as well, try to take pictures of your toys, kind of thing. But he would love if they done stuff like that. That would be his for my go-to thing. He would make amazing pictures with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
it almost makes me annoyed that I can't do the pictures. Like in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in that are just Mythic Legions, you see the guys like just doing so, like, they're amazing, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that. I try to take a picture, I'm just like, no. Like, just bog standard. Like,
is it? I've got another friend that's in the Discord where his name is Shadow Wiz Rory, and he does a lot. He's a Power Ranger fan. He's a Power Ranger collector, but some of the Lightning Collection figures that have come out, there's been paint missing here and paint missing there. He's actually made them better, and some of them he's tried to make them show accurate kind of thing. And he's been giving me hints because I've been talking to him quite a lot about that. I have, funny enough, I've got a Cyclops, but it's from the Chap May line. It's painted on the front, but it's missing the paint on the back. And I want to paint this. I want to so it looks better than what it actually is. So he's been giving me hints and ideas. So he's told me to get those Gundam markers. So I have ordered them, but it could take up to a month because I need to. They're coming from China. But he says no, use them. He says, man, because they'll bring out all the details. Because I've got I picked up some of the Halo Balder figures that come out a few years back, and he says using the Gundam markers on that would bring out all the details on the armor. And so
is that the Sprue Kits, Baz, the one you're on about, the Sprue Kits?
Yeah, the Sprue Kit ones, aye.
Yeah.
But it's just trial and error. Yeah. It's like you can see, man. I showed a few months, but I made Woody figures. I actually made these for my nephew. My nephew had a couple of they were like eggs that transformed into the actual character, but they were broken. So I stripped them down. I kept the heads. Don't know why. And I was just messing about, and it's like I ended up picking up a pile of these lanyard bodies figures.
Woody Skywalker.
Nice. I just tried a lot to see if it would fit in that, but I've come across some of the newer lanyard figures that are more that can actually pose like G.I. Joes. So tomorrow I'm going to kind of mess about with this guy and see if I can get the head on that and see what it looks like. But it's like I've messed a bit with Shabby and that. It's like, now I have a Jedi Woody and I have a Sith Woody.
Nice.
But just like little things like that, it's kind of fun. I made them for my nephew Travis, but I ended up keeping them for myself because I thought they were. But if I can ever get any more, if I can find any more of those Woody figures, then I would just take the heads and make some more and give him some.
I always think about what it's going to be like for the person who discovers my box of little heads. And I'm like, I mean, I get it. The whole room is full of action figures, but like when you open just one box and it's just full of heads, I'm like, oh.
That's just like with me with Marvel Legends, man. You have some of them. You have like an eternal head. I've got a box and it's fully
exactly what I'm talking about. Yep, Marvel Legends.
Because what was the first custom that I did was, let me see if it's on the shelf. I can't remember if it's on the shelf.
You guys do any customs? You guys
I've done a few in the past. It's mainly Power Ranger figures and Bandai, which never got released.
I'll put my shell in the
paint jobs and that sort of stuff.
Nice.
It wasn't like a big custom, but with this Captain America, when he turns into the wolf, he just come with standard hands, Travis.
Yep.
So I was looking through like my bits and pieces box, and I come across these claws that actually come from the Killer Croc animated series. So I just painted them just to try it out. So that actually looks, to me, that looks better than what what it was when it first, instead of having just standard human hands, now he's actually got claws.
Pretty decent.
I like them. So you painted the whole thing. So it was like green, I guess, before, if it was Killer Croc, or like.
No,
just the hands.
Yeah. The hands were green, Andy. So I just
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I just kind of messed about with the different colours to see if I could get. And fair enough, I had a red that was actually similar to the actual red on his gauntlets. So it kind of it doesn't completely match, and you can see the difference in like the glossy bit, but
From a distance, you can't tell the difference, can you?
no, but with that figure, it just comes with standard hands. So
I like it.
If you don't try, you don't get anywhere. But it's like we're talking with my good friend Rory. It was kind of him. It's like if you don't try it, you'll never know, kind of thing. So I tried my luck.
Yeah, but it worked. If I tried my luck, I'd ruin a good figure.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Andy.
Travis, do your kids collect turtle figures by any chance?
Do you say turtle figures?
Yeah.
Nope. I had a shelf. I was gonna have a collection, and I'm trying to hold off from buying the current Super 7 figures, because I think, to me, those are I think those are the best looking turtle figures I've ever seen. But and I'll see. I don't know. I still might buy 4 of those, but I haven't really made up my mind yet.
Yeah. The only reason I mentioned that basically for 2012 they did a 2-foot Leonardo play set, but never did the other 3 turtles. I customized the other 3 turtles, so I got the full set of 2-foot turtles and that sort of stuff.
Wow!
So I've done my big play sets. I've done the Ghostbusters firehouse because it was all yellow over here, and I repainted that. A few Power Ranger bits. That's about it for me.
Yeah.
You know. Andy, you still got. How hard is it to get that Snake custom figure you got from Battle Beast? Is it? Is it impossible?
It's like it's right at the back of the cabinet.
Okay, don't worry. It's basically, Travis. Is it like a wrestling action
I have
figure,
to
but
take
like
stuff out to get it.
Yeah. Do you want to describe it then to Travis and?
Do you know the Battle Beasts? The small little, you know, the triple threat snake. So the one he's got like snakes for arms and the snake head.
Yep.
My friend Dan had a custom one made for me as a WWF Hasbro figure.
Oh.
So it's got like the Hasbro card back with the clamshell.
Oh,
and inside it is the triple threat snake. It's wicked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Annoyingly, I would have to take stuff out.
All right, no, I totally
get
it.
Yeah. I'll send it to you soon. Don't worry.
It is wicked.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's definitely something I didn't do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See that I'm kind of, I feel like I'm right there with you, bud, because I have like all these ideas, and I understand what you're saying, that man, you just got to kind of try it, but like I always have that thought too, that I'm gonna ruin something or it's gonna be ugly, and then I also remember I'm just super lazy, so I'm like,
if you want to jump on the chat
and that one as well.
The question, you can more than welcome to jump on the chat. Just come on the chat if you wanted to 5 minutes, ask Andy a couple of questions. You're more than welcome to. But
I've got an original Thunder Tank, but I'm missing. It's like my actual one from a child, so it's battered or pretty bruised up. I would get a new one definitely, but the Super 7 one, as much as it's amazing, it's too expensive for me. Like there's other things I'd rather collect than the newer ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the Super 7 stuff is really, really good.
Absolutely amazing, but yeah, some of it's just. I think
I'd rather spend the money and buy the original stuff than the newer ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Andy, there's still like 60, 70 quid over here in the shops, are they? Super 7?
Yeah, I think the Thundercats.
So you're looking at Travis, about $80, $90 over here for Super 7s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of the stuff from like America to the UK were almost about the same. So you can basically take the dollar sign off and transit straight into American sign or a pound sign.
Yeah.
But then like Super 7, occasionally NECA is like twice the amount of American stuff.
But Vadertron's toy chest, he's got an amazing the new Thundercat collection, the Super 7 stuff, and it does look amazing. I'm not saying it doesn't. I just for like 50-60 pounds for the figure, I'd rather put that into putting it towards getting a Bengali or a couple of the vintage ones.
And your laser beasts.
Yeah, all the laser beasts, but that's a different. Yeah, they're another thing that cost me a fortune.
Travis, you don't deal with laser beasts, do you, by any chance, or know anyone does?
I got a few contacts that I think sell them, but not a ton. That's not a line. I mean, don't get me wrong, you'll see them at shows, but if they're at a show, usually they get snatched up. Yeah, I mean, that's a line that the collectors who want it, I mean, they kind of go after it pretty hard. And I get it, you have to.
I mean, the guys I use are generally American on Instagram.
Yeah.
And every time they put a post up, by the time I wake up because of the time difference or whatever, it'll be like, shit, I missed out again. Like,
yeah,
they do go really quickly.
Right. Yeah.
But as you say, it is just because the collectors they know it's kind of sparse. So if you don't jump on it straight away, you are going to have to wait for it to come up again.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's if you don't enjoy the hunt part of this, I mean, you're missing out on a huge piece of the puzzle.
My only thing, I wish I could go and find some of these things like in the wild, as they say. But it's not going to turn up.
I keep saying to myself, one of these days I'm going to go to the charity shop and there's going to be a big baggy battle base. Because remember,
if that day happens for you, I'll be happy for you.
Like 2 years ago, remember I found like they 5 bags full of boglins, monsters in your pocket, and all that. So I'd probably freak out if I had that, but you've always got that thing in the back of your head is that you're hoping you're going to find something like that for a very good, cheap price, kind of thing. Because I've still got the 4 battle beasts that I got off of you when we done that trade. Was it last year or the year before?
I think it's the year before now. Yeah.
So I've still got they guys, and I really would like to add a couple more to the collection.
We can sort something out. I've got a few more. But sorry, Travis, I know you said earlier that you're a vendor and stuff, and you mainly collect modern. Is there anything vintage that you'd collect?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. I was expecting you to be like, oh well, yeah, I've got this little section here.
No. I really have no soul. Like,
okay,
I think where my heart is supposed to be, it's not. So like,
it's now a Mythic Legion.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it. Marvel Legends still holds a huge. Like, I grew up on Marvel Comics, so Marvel is one that I was pretty crazy into Legends. Like I had probably everything, and then I just got to this like, why are you collecting figures that you've never even read a comic book that person was in? Like, you have no like attachment to him. So my Legends shelf, like, I bet got cut by, I don't know, maybe 50%. And so like that, I'm kind of going through that phase too, where I'm like, I need to condense some things and figure that out. So like nostalgia, like the stuff I have a nostalgic, attachment with, there's a better Captain America than the one I had when I was 14. Yeah. So like, I'm like, I want the better one. And, I just sell all the other stuff. As soon as something comes out that I think's better, I haven't done that yet with my wife, but she keeps it up.
That's a more tricky situation.
Yeah. I kind of want to keep all these toys. I don't have that nostalgia.
It's one of the things. What tugs your heartstrings, isn't it? When you got, is it Mythic Legions? Is it 8 years old? 2014 or 15? It started.
Probably something like that. That seems no. That's probably if you start to talk about the birds and yeah.
So when you're all into one big like collection, it's like if you're just into like Thundercat, it's only quite a small line. you know, but if you're
Yeah.
talking Star Wars, it can fill a whole room up very easy.
Yeah.
Lego can fill the whole house up.
Yeah.
Surely Lego's never ending. You'd have to.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I think basically the Mythic Legions, like Travis said, when you get one figure but you get 2 alternative heads, it's almost 3 figures in one pack. You know,
you need the bodies.
You know, as you said, when it's like stormtroopers, you can have thousands and millions of stormtroopers with orcs, goblins. If there's an army builder in that pack, you want to buy, you know, probably 10, 20 of them, so you can have, like you say, Andy, a big, like your snake army. Is it 96 snake armies?
Yeah, I think I've got 96 of them. Somewhere around there, anyway.
You know, it's one of the things that as soon as you see that little toy, you want that snake army. You want everything to do with snakes to like build it. So you got the big ones behind it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not going to spoil the end of the video for you, but when you see Travis, you'll see why. I think Travis only deals with Mystic Legions. You know, it's
I got a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that, it's way how you display it as well, because it's not like your figures on the shelf. Like you just put figures on the shelf like Baz on his shelf, like you just on the glass cabinet. Where the Mystic Legion guys, I think, take it to that next level. They build the dioramas and everything to go with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's based, I think, Travis, is it all or nothing with something like the American thing or something?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's it's weird because like I've had a couple pieces that I missed out on, and I was able to get hooked up with those, you know, from amazing people in this, you know, collecting community. And I didn't think I needed them, but man, as soon as I got them, I was like, dang, I really like that, you know, that feeling. I don't have this, like, I don't want my collection to be bigger and better than anybody else. Because I know there's people out there that make my collection look like nothing. But I really enjoy the sheer mass of it. I am sick. I think I might need help.
No, it's a safe place. You're okay.
Yeah, but it keeps you happy, keeps you going in life, and keeps everything happy.
Yeah.
You know, if the wife ain't going to kill you, like the wife will never kill your podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But basically, the American guys have got the space to do this type of stuff. Whereas guys in the UK, we ain't got the space unless you're like a bachelor boy or you got the room, a few bits of room, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It is great. Some of the, I think it's called the Cable. It's like the Facebook group that I'm in. It's an American run group by Walter.
Yeah.
Some of the pictures I see from you guys, I thought there was the T-shirt. I was like, sure that's the same one. I used to talk to him years ago when he used to collect Battle Beasts, and then it sort of moved into that page used to be a Battle Beast page, if I remember rightly, and then he went into Mythic Legions massively. Like that was crazy. But yeah, some of the pictures I see in those groups are just insane.
Yeah, he's
like, I feel bad. I commented like, oh, when I got my first one, I was like, ooh, finally got one. And I was like, why did I post that? I was like, these people have like thousands of them. Like,
yeah.
It's one of the things, Trav. Basically, I put a saying on my T-shirt when I met you, the jumper. And the saying that I've done and put on the thing, if you guys want to blow up and you can read it. You know what I mean? It means a lot to everyone around the world. You know, the verse says you can be anyone from anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter how big or small your collection is, or how famous you are in the fandom. What does, you know, that sort of thing? He sticks with me all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
Yep. And that's what I love about, you know, these Facebook groups and these communities out there. And the Cabal is a perfect example. You can surround yourself with people that come from all different, you know, walks, but they all love the same thing.
Thanks, Baz. You know, I'll say sometimes
Yeah.
For me, I've always liked, honestly, seeing people's collections and showing up or showing the collection around. You know, I haven't showed much. I've only been showing it off 2 years ago, tops. I've always been a person I like seeing people's collection and showing people certain things. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like the Discord I'm in, Dave.
Yeah.
It's mainly Power Rangers that everybody collects, but I'm probably the only, maybe I'm the only Scottish guy in it. Funny enough. But for me, I collect a bit of everything. I collect Star Wars, I collect He-Man, Turtles, Marvel, DC. I collect some other kind of weirder lines as well. It's like, for example, for that, it was the colours that caught me. So anything that's got kind of bright colours, it's like I'm just zoomed right in, you know. But it's like over the last couple of years, I've gone to like the Lightning Collection stuff. So I've been picking up the odd bits and pieces here and there. But I wished I started it for the beginning, because some of the ones that I want to get are now so expensive that I'd have to sell a kidney to get something.
You mentioned Lightning Collection. Maybe remember I got this. This was the thing, or the bird that it kind of fits in with the Mythic Legions.
Yeah,
it may not have the right scale.
See,
but,
I don't know.
No, but you're right. It's definitely something that you could easily put on the shelf behind some figures.
Yeah, because I'm not a Power Rangers guy at all, but this guy really was.
See,
it's I
don't know if this would kind of, but man, I've got Pudgy Pig kind of thing.
I'll be honest, I struggled not to buy that thing. I thought it looked so stupid, but I was like, that's why it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like if you on Instagram, I've done a few pictures of this guy, and I've got a Goku that I can kind of split in two. So I've basically got like his legs sticking out his mouth kind of thing. And then I've got another picture of like he's actually eating Goku himself, and Goku's kind of struggling. But this was one figure I was wanting to get, kind of thing, because Power Rangers probably started when I was starting high school, but I still enjoyed it. But when this guy came on, he was just funny. He was just one of those characters. It's like, oh, I need to get the toy, but I never got the original Pudgy Pig. But when they said they were releasing him, I ended up buying him, kind of thing.
He is like an iconic bad guy for Power Rangers.
He is. And I think the other thing that kind of sold it is that his weapons is a knife and fork.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, nice.
Ravish, we've got roughly about just over the half hour to go. Do you want us to put your camera on and?
Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna really quick run to the bathroom.
Yes. You want to do that first?
If I don't,
bits and pieces, and say if you want to, we'll put you back on in a second with your camera, and then give you if you want to talk through it as well, because I say it's mind-blowing what's coming. So.
All right, sounds good. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, thanks. Andy, you got any shows coming up, or any videos, or anything special coming up, and?
Nothing planned at the minute. I think the next show will be the NEC at Birmingham.
March 20th?
Yeah, the March one. Yeah. I think the guys are doing the Sandown show. And Vader mentioned earlier, there's an Enfield show this weekend, but I don't think any of us can make it because we're all working, or other commitments. I'll be working, but I'm pretty sure NEC for me will be the next one.
Will you be selling it, Andy, as well?
I'm in two minds. I want to sell, but then I also had so much fun running around at the Christmas one.
Yeah.
That I'm
hoping
this one will be
so that was amazing, wasn't it?
The what, sorry?
You picked up some really good bits at Christmas. It's like something different.
Yeah, that Rambo like helicopter set. That was that was. Well, still never seen another one.
I'm planning. I've not decided yet, but I'm planning to actually do one in August in my nearest town.
Selling or
selling?
Yeah,
I've got a few bits that no longer have attachments with. So I'm going to try my luck. I've not decided yet. I'm still waiting on the the organisers getting back to me saying how much would be for a table, what it's going to cost for parking, or if that's a separate thing kind of thingy. But August, I might be, if no,
do it just for the experience of selling. Like it is it's a good fun day.
It's like I've got a few pops that I really don't want them. They're not part of the collection anymore. I mean, I picked them up because they were cheap. I picked up a lot of Star Wars ones that I sold a few weeks back. But the only pops I'm keeping is my He-Man ones that took me a while to find.
Yeah. Well, we can't keep everything. We can try, but
yeah. I always say to Badge, you know what you're selling at the toy fairs or toy shows, wherever you do in the world. If you know what you're selling, it kills the battle because you know what you're talking about at the shows. You can help people out and that sort of stuff. It's crazy, like, you know, Andy's like does a bit of everything at the show, but you only collect certain things, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I sell a lot more stuff than I actually collect, but
and that's expecting to do it like these shows and different, you know,
the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I would like to. There's a few characters I'd like to get some more of, but
I can see you going to
go for the whole line.
I see your Forges of Fang from Andy.
Yeah, no, I love that thing.
Good.
Okay, I'm excited for this tour.
Right then, I'm going to introduce. Well, you know Travis already, so guys, enjoy the next whatever minutes of Travis wants to do. So, guys, enjoy yourself. All yours, Travis.
Okay, I'm going to try and get some lights on here. I probably didn't do the best job getting set up for this, but that's usually how it goes with me. All right, let me flip this around.
No, I don't think you can. You need to turn the camera itself. I think your phone.
What's that?
I think you need to turn the phone itself, and we look from your end.
Oh wow!
Oh damn!
Okay, I'm gonna try and do this.
Jesus.
It's a little funky.
You want to put yourself on the other screen as well. You can have two live streams at the same time, so you can see what you're looking on the TVs.
So this is that line that other one I had over there. This table is full of customs. And so when I say that, not every figure on here is a custom. This is a standard Mystic Legion. I shouldn't say standard, but it's one without any custom pieces on it.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of them on here that are either going to be painted or they actually have like a whole new custom head. There's multiple companies that print heads for them. Some of my favorites easily are Wolfgang Customs and My Action Figure Customs.
Oh, the one with the hair there looks wicked.
So a couple of these too, like this is like a Marvel Legends Rhino body. And I can't remember where that head, I think it's a Spawn figure. Yeah, Poacher, I think. Jeremy Gerard actually works for Four Horsewood Studios. That's one of his customs that I bought.
That dragon at the back is amazing.
Yeah, so that dragon actually, like I said, I like to buy stuff from other lines, and that's Golden Axe. I think it was Storm Collectibles.
Oh wow!
I was just going to say, the dragon looks so familiar.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's that dragon.
Oh, eBay searching that later.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like these here, so these heads and shoulder pauldrons, those are actually from a company called Wolfgang Customs. My buddy Steve painted them up for me. So I'm going to go back here just to give you guys an idea what this shelf looks like. This was because my wife loves me. She actually built the Dio pieces for me.
I mean, she's a keeper, right?
Yeah, she's definitely a keeper. And it's not done. We're still working on it. And I hate to say it, like this isn't how it's going to all finally be displayed. Like I do have a plan. It's just kind of a slow process based on, you know, how long it takes to build these dio pieces.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's a Lady Death figure.
I like the is it like Minotaur at the back?
Yep. Zombie 13. He's a painter. You've probably seen his work in the Cabal. He painted those up for me.
Oh, man.
This Lewis, is also another guy in the Cabal. Somebody posted that for sale in the Mythic Legions Cabal, and I jumped on it. So I didn't do a good job showing you guys these guys, and that's the dwarfs, and you know, then how they scaled compared to everything else. So like, here's a skeleton and a dwarf. That skeleton is kind of hunched over.
Yeah.
You guys, if I don't have the camera in the right spot, just yell at me, okay?
No, we're taking it all in. You do.
All right. Yep.
Perfect so far, Trav.
I'm rethinking all my life choices right now.
I'm just thinking the same. I'm like, well, I've got quite a big vintage Star Wars line that can be sold. That would hopefully make me buy at least 3 more Mythic Legions. So good. The troll there, was he part of the recent All Stars wave?
Nope. You're talking this one right here?
Yeah.
No. That's an ogre. That's Archimedes. He's probably been out about, I want to say, at least 2 years now, maybe 3.
Okay.
Yep. He's got some custom pieces on him as well.
I've seen them pop up a few times, but
this is one of my favorites.
I know. I just seen that, man. That looks.
I think Dan would appreciate that. That's like
Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's it. Did you say a Cthulhu?
Cthulhu.
Yep. Cthulhu, yeah.
And it's a Mythic Legion Legion Builder figure, a custom head, and then wings from a Sauron from Marvel Legends. My buddy Anthony's his dwarf. He has a company called Toy Forge. He does a lot of stuff, but some mostly dwarf related things. I think he's got some kind of love for dwarfs.
Is that like a Medusa?
Yeah, that's a custom I bought. And I want to say another Cabal one. Some got posted up in a Cabal. The Cabal, it was a piece that I just kind of loved, so I bought that. I'm lucky enough. I got probably about 3 or 4 friends close to me that are really talented artists, and so they do a lot of fun stuff for me. Usually, meaning I have to give them toys, though.
Well,
Super 7 Conan.
Yeah.
It fits in, doesn't it? Like you said.
What's that?
That fits in perfectly, doesn't it? It's unbelievable how it fits in.
Oh yeah.
The Conan fits so much in. It's unreal.
Yep.
Those bird guys, man. Those are mental, man.
That's I love that.
I like that one. I like the wings.
Yeah.
When he goes off like this, is it Skiskis?
Yeah. This from Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
The 2-headed or Siamese.
That one kind of reminds me of Jack and the movie that they did with the two. That is a crazy collection, Travis. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
And this is just your custom side.
Yeah. This is really just the custom shelf. And like, so you were just talking about that reinforcement wave. Well, I'm sitting here like patiently waiting with my collection of heads. Whoa.
That looks like the Dungeons and Dragons guy in blue. Just crazy.
Were the heads on the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Oh, those heads are amazing, man.
Yeah. So I got to get some more bodies for those to go on.
They don't sell just the bodies on their own without heads, do they?
What's that?
Do they sell just bodies on their own without heads? So like you can
They
use all
don't.
the extra heads? They
Nope.
don't. No.
Nope,
Okay.
they don't do that.
Oh, she's amazing.
Oh, I like that snake one. That's cool.
Yeah. I've got a miniature Boss Fight Studios Medusa, similar, not quite like that, but similar. I like the colours on that guy. He's cool. Oh, there's Baz.
He's just left.
He's probably called the button, so he'll be back in a sec.
Man,
Are you guys enjoying it so far?
I'm selling everything. I'm going all in on Mythic. They're so good. I can't. That's just the customs. I want to see the actual stuff I could buy. Come on. He's gone. Oh well. I think I'll be hitting their website tonight.
Yeah, it's.
Hopefully, realizes he's been disconnected, man. Nope.
There he is.
There you go.
Sorry about that, guys.
It happens on all streams. Trust me, Travis. It's one of them things. Don't worry.
Yeah, unfortunately, trying to use my phone like this, it's just
It's one of the problems with StreamYard. It doesn't let you literally flip the camera around. That's one of the problems I find with this StreamYard. You know,
just kind of the way it goes, huh? So
these are the normal ones now. They're normal releases.
Yep, these are going to be your normal releases, and there is a few figures mixed in here that are from their earlier lines too. Like this figure in the back with the red hair, that's from the Scarybus line, which was another Four Horsemen line that they did in the past. Same with the elephant here in the background.
Yeah,
can be really annoying. But what was the green bird at the very back?
I can't remember the name of that one, but that was in that bird wave.
Okay.
Yep.
The colours really pop when they're all next to each other.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about the line is just the different color variations.
Yeah. Like I often think some of them look very like dull or like, quite dark, but seeing them like this all together, it's like they're really not.
Helps to when you get the right light on them.
Yeah.
What's that clear one that got released, Travis?
What's that?
You know the clear one, that second shelf down. You got a clear one, that white clear one. Is that how it came out?
That is that's called Hagnon, and he glows in the dark. Yeah. It's the only figure they've done like that, but it's supposed to be like, he's like a ghost, a specter.
Glowing dark figures are cool as it is, but that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I can try and turn everything off too and show you guys before the end.
Travis, you got Lord of the Rings as well in there.
I got pieces for sure from Lord of the Rings. Like I thought you were. I thought they were just perfect.
Yeah.
I got a few of the horses too that I use as mounts. Unfortunately, I've been moving pieces on and off, so there's going to be a little bit of disarray here, but
it's okay. We won't hold it against you. Don't worry.
This was my Masters of the Universe Classics collection. I had the villains, but I ended up getting rid of those because I needed just more space for Mythic Legions. Yeah, like I said, I got a problem.
The green.
At least you know what you're collecting. At least you know where your path is, and at least you know where you're going. So, unbelievable.
I know another guy in the UK he's done the same. He's sold all of his vintage stuff and just collects mythics now.
Yeah,
and his collection's he already had an impressive collection, but it's not quite this level. But like I think for a UK collector, it's pretty damn big. The green guy's He-Man, right?
Yep, that's Granamir. Yep. There was a few of the He-Man figures that I just couldn't part with because I loved him so much.
Yeah, no, he's a beast.
Yeah, that's a cool figure, and the Four Horsemen sculpted him too. So like, there's a little bit of that attachment. Like I just love their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. These are the test shots that I was talking about earlier, where there's certain ones. There's only probably 8 of them in existence.
Jesus.
Whoa. So like prototypes then.
Are they showing up okay, guys, or is it too dark?
Yeah,
No.
Perfect, man.
Which I don't think I can get my face closer to the screen to be looking at it. They were wicked.
Yeah, so cool pieces. Like I don't spend like a ton on the aftermarket for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But if I get a chance, and this is that figure that you showed off earlier. Yeah.
Have you got the new one they did, the red version?
The red one actually won't be out for a year.
Okay.
Yep. It's it's coming, but it's up for pre-order right now. So that's a great one to jump in right now too. Anybody that wants to get in on this line, there's a pre-order open right now. You just have to go through an approved retailer for the Horsemen. It's like a retailer incentive program.
Oh, so they're not selling it on the site, or they are?
No, they're not going to sell it on their site. It's just going to be available through those retail partners. So that's that website that you guys posted earlier, Source Horsemen. Or if you go to that, there's a link on there that'll say they're approved retailers, and it'll direct you to people that sell them.
Oh, okay. I might look into that. Oh man.
Yeah, because you guys, you might have somebody. I know it's harder for everybody overseas, but there might be an approved seller on there.
As I say, there is a couple of companies that I know do or have had waves in the past. So maybe they'll have them.
This is that Motu shelf.
Oh, man. The Battle Cat one is amazing.
Yeah,
they're all amazing, but like Battle Cat is.
It's kind of funny because I've got that Panther. I'm just missing the saddle and the fucking helmet.
Oh yeah, that's true. You did. Thank you, Jay. Oh my god, I won't even try and pronounce what the green bird is, but
that helmet is unbelievable, isn't it?
Seriously, all the separate dioramas are so good.
Yeah, and that's just because my wife is willing to make them for me.
So she's done all of them.
What? Yeah, she's done all of these. Yep. Yeah, I'm definitely spoiled. I know that.
Yeah. I see the goblins look so good. I'd love a little goblin army.
Yeah, I love those little monsters.
Yeah.
Andy, I think if they made a one with like a snake with 3 heads, I think you'd probably buy that for your snake army.
I would definitely be into a
Jurassic Park feature, doesn't it? That's the Indoraptor, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
And it just works.
Yeah, I like I said, I got buddies who hate me because I do it. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I love it. Like,
perfect. Yeah, something like that. We're probably saying, you did it first. I want to do it,
Yep.
That
is.
And this is, I got a local buddy, Chris. He goes by the name of Von Customs, and he just does some amazing paint work.
He's the horse from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, that's where that horse came from. Yep, Final Fantasy. It was like translucent pink. And I found it at a toy show.
Cool, thank you, Jay. I'll check out Imperium of Cool. Actually, yeah, they're I know they've had other waves as well, I think.
This is so tempting just to go down another rabbit hole just to get a couple of these.
Oh, look at the like Vulture. They do look a bit like Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
So that figure is a custom, and I think that's what that head is from. One of the guys that listens to our podcast and does some good work too, and a lot of stuff came from him on here. Put some of this stuff together for me, and this is from a novel series I read. It's a Forgotten Realms. Well, it was Forgotten Realms, but Dungeons and Dragons. It's the Dark Elf series, and so like these are the characters from that book.
Okay.
And there's like another part I love about this. Like there's a lot of pieces from people that I've met in the toy community who have helped put this together.
Yeah. Travis, do you know a guy called Christopher Leverley or something?
Yeah, Chris is a great dude. Chris actually puts together our highlight videos for our podcast.
Yeah, he's just promoted your podcast again. So, there you go.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah.
This was a fan choice figure. And so that was a figure where the fans got to vote in that first Kickstarter what he would look like. Being the Blood Knight. These are McFarlane horses, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. And this is Rhaegar. This was brought up earlier. He's one of those tribute figures that you probably won't see again.
Right. Okay.
That is amazing. That is.
Is the horse for the same line as well, Travis?
What's that?
The horse. There's the horses from the Mystic Legions as well.
Nope, not these ones. These ones are McFarlane, and I can't remember what they're actually were from. Gosh, it's right there on the tip of my tongue, but I can't.
It's Spawn, unless Spawn did a couple of horses.
I think they were from like either a Death Dealer or something along those lines. The Horsemen have done horses.
I think they've got some in the new wave. I'm sure I've seen a horse. Or was it?
Yeah. So that the one I showed you with the big wings, Arether.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the horse that he rides.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh, damn.
Again with the big horns. So, oh man.
Oh.
Yeah. And those are probably the best horses I've ever seen that they're putting out now, the Mythic Legions one. Same thing I would say with those. You got to get on them early. If you get in early, you can get them cheap. Now I got some Marvel stuff. Do you guys want to see that?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. And I haven't been really great about putting out all of my legends. I got a bunch just in a tote that I just gotta not be lazy and drag them out.
I mean, these look good, but not as good as what's behind you.
You can see why he's getting rid of these to do the Mythic Legions, can't you?
Definitely.
And I got plans here, but we'll see what happens.
Hydra.
Travis, I think it makes a difference where your wife has made the backgrounds, your detailed cabinets. It makes the figures unbelievable different.
Yeah, those backgrounds are, to me, and they're a lot of work, but they're amazing. Like you're right, it just really helps set off that shelf.
Damn.
Like is it Giant Man or Ant-Man?
Yeah, Giant Man.
Giant Man. Oh, and the Apocalypse, he's cool. See, the impression I got was you said you were selling your Marvel stuff to fund the Mythic Legions, but you still got a hell of a lot of Marvel stuff.
I'm sorry, you said selling the Star Wars stuff or other stuff?
The Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
I thought you had mentioned before that you were sort of possibly selling that stuff to fund the Mythic Legions.
And I am selling some of it, just not all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Them trolls.
Okay, the more I look at them, and the more it's like, my bank balance is killing me.
Like I said, you just got to pick out a few of them. This I think is from Diablo. I'm not 100% sure on that.
That one is Diablo, because I have that, but it's two of the antennas at the back are broken off. I need to try and see if I can fix them.
Oh, gotcha. This is one of my favorites. Pixis.
Really nice.
And that's a figure that's been offered twice. He made an all-star wave. So he came back around. Did you guys watch this?
Yeah.
What do you think?
What was she in? No, not Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D. What If series of Disney Plus.
I haven't watched it.
Piece of the misses.
Is that a Kong figure? No?
Which one?
The white ape. Is that?
No, that's from that same creature replica, and it's supposed to be like a Yeti.
Ah, okay, makes sense now. Okay.
Yep.
I like the Clayface. The Clayface kind of blends in good with that.
And my plan with the Clayface was, I'm like, well, he'll work as like a stone elemental.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have that same Clayface, Travis. The
Yep.
only thing I don't like about it is the head, because the minute you can move the head, the face mask kind of falls off.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. It's a really loosey kind of figure, and if you drop that thing, it's gonna get broke too.
If you were to throw that figure at somebody, it would kill them.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow, what is that?
This is just kind of my oddball shelf.
He's an oddball.
That's wicked.
I know the Legends go next to him because I've got him in that one and Clear. That one.
Which one are you looking at?
The red one with horns with his staff.
Yep, I don't actually know what he's from. I think he was like some weird comic book.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say weird, but some comic book, like not like Marvel or DC or anything like that. Because I know, this figure here was also in that. And I don't know if that's like a Lady Death, but I think it's something like that.
She looks familiar. She looks like she could be the other character for Lady Death. I can't remember what her name is.
Oh, you know what? And I guess I do have two vintage nostalgia-like pieces back here.
Oh, Remco Warriors or something?
Yep.
Two very nice pieces.
I always kind of liked those ones, and those are ones I would play with when I went to my friend's house. So when I saw them at a show one time, I just pulled the trigger on them.
Yeah. What is this octopus mammoth?
So that's a local guy at a Comic-Con. He does all kinds of crazy stuff like this, and he took a Snuffleupagus stuffed animal, and he turned it into Cthulhupagus.
I mean, it's so strange. It's amazing.
Yeah, I kind of like that weird stuff like that. And this is, I want to say, what do they call these again?
I've got a couple of Star Wars ones.
Yeah.
What is the name of them?
It's like movie realizations or something like that. I got the box. I'll figure it out anyway. So I really like these. I just thought it was always a cool take on the characters.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got the troopers at the back.
Yeah.
That Boba Fett's wicked.
Oh, you mean that one, Andy?
Yeah.
And I wanted like a Spider-Man fighting the Sinister Six.
Oh man.
I need to get better lights on this too.
No, we can see it all. Thanos and his kids.
Oh, I love that big guy behind Thanos. Like, that took me ages to complete him.
I'm going to show you, like we were talking about the boxes of heads. Marvel Legends.
That is one hell of a display case with the drawer underneath.
Yeah, I kind of thought that was pretty cool. I saw it at an antique store and got them to a price where I thought I could do it. These are my buddy painted up G.I. Joe vehicles, painted them like the Transformers.
Yeah.
Yep, and these are two actual Hasbro releases, but whoa.
The Sky Striker or something?
Yep. You got the Sky Striker, and he took those and he painted them up to be like Thundercracker and Skywarp.
I wonder when you showed them earlier, I was like, geez, they look massive. But now you said it's what it is. I'm like, yeah, they are massive.
Yeah, they're pretty big. They need to be dusted. I'm a pig. And then this is kind of like my little closet.
That's like the size of my flat.
Guys, come to maybe not. I was gonna say come to America, but we got our issues over here too. So,
and this is just box stuff, or is this just boxes?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Are those all brand new, or is that where you keep the cards?
So these are all ones I'm gonna open.
Wow.
And I just haven't gotten to that point yet. Mostly because I need to just spend like a large, amount of time down here, and I just haven't got around to doing that.
Yeah.
So, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon, probably. Yeah. So that's kind of about the basis of my collection, I would say.
It's very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's a little sickening.
It's
amazing what you can actually do with a collection, or it's amazing how different people display it. But like you say, it's like your wife's work is unbelievable, Travis. And
I'll tell you that
figures, doesn't it?
That really is a huge part of, I think, why it works for us and why I get to do this, because she gets to kind of express that artistic part of her here. I'm gonna switch back to my other
sure. Go for it.
Camera. That, guys. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry.
Did you guys get your ears blown out?
No.
Oh, okay.
I say we're not used to it. One of the streams normally goes pop, or very soon he's like, "Oh, the phone's getting too hot. It's crazy."
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to reevaluate my fucking collection now. Like,
I don't know if you should let someone else's collection like influence yours, though.
No, but
definitely not to that extent. But there's definitely a few more in there that I've seen pictures of, and just sort of seeing them with the other ones, I'm like, yeah.
I'm hoping by the end of this year, Travis, I'm hoping to try and have a couple of Mystic Legions in my collection. Like,
yeah, I think you should. Like, it's one of those toy lines that I think it's easy to fall in love with, especially when it seems like the people involved with it care so much about it.
Yeah.
With that said,
it gives off like Dungeons and Dragons. It's like, I wish when they made the original 80s Dungeons and Dragons, they never made toys for that cartoon. I think the only toys they made were like little PVC figures. I would love them to actually make proper, like,
nothing
6
wrong
inch.
with unarticulated figures. They're still figures.
No, but you know what I mean? It's like for me, I would love them to do the never-ending story. I will have either
yeah.
Neck or another company because I would love the dragon.
And I would love.
I want a Falcor so badly.
But
How can I get the Mythic Legion guys to do a Willow Ebersisk?
Travis's friend Justice Corey has actually got a custom Falco He-Man figure that someone did for him, and it looks spot on. You know, didn't he, Travis?
Yeah,
I think if Mythic Legion did like a Falcor style figure, I think I'd be like, I wouldn't eat for a month. I'd have to buy it.
Well, they've been teasing us that they're going to do a dragon at some point, and I think that'll even get me to kind of go wow. But I want to say that the one thing about the line is there's been figures that have come in with waves that I wasn't really that sold on, and then as soon as I get them, like you guys talked about, how those colors work on the shelf together, it's just kind of crazy. It's like they're kind of little masters at that, and they suck you in, you know, with this backstory and these factions. And then, you know, one will come with red armor and you're like, yeah, it's okay. But then the next two that come, their armor like perfectly matches with it. And it's like, okay, here I go. So I guess what I'm saying, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
And it's another dangerous rabbit hole.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Warmer's coming to the end of the stream, but you know, it's crazy. If everyone's getting more questions for Travis or want to pop on for the last couple of 2-3 minutes, they're more than welcome to. Before I forget, next week we've got a Star Trek and Transformers toy special with 2 special guests on next week with me and Baz. There's that. Travis, where can we actually find you again? Is it My Wife Is Going to Kill You podcast? Is it on YouTube again?
My Wife Is Going to Kill Me. We got a YouTube channel. We got a podcast. The podcast, I'm going to tell you right now, the YouTube stream, it is not safe for work. I would never listen to it with your children.
I'm in.
And we talk a ton of toys. As far as 4 Horsemen info, I'm going to definitely recommend going to the website. That website is probably one of the coolest pieces out there, and that's sourcehorseman.com. If you're in Facebook groups, Mythic Legion Cabal, Mythic Legion European Faction, I think is what it's called. Both real good ones.
There is a UK one as well where people do sell stuff, and it's not as like marked up as eBay and stuff. Like obviously I know people buy to flip and stuff, but like the UK group the prices do seem more reasonable.
Yeah, perfect.
Not saying they're like super cheap, but it is better.
Well,
you've got to be quick because there's certain names that keep popping up and they keep grabbing everything. You're like, damn it. But yeah.
To answer your friend's question, we couldn't have done this show without Travis's knowledge or help. And basically, I wanted to get somebody on with a nice little collection, not too big but not too small, to teach all of us how to like display, how to do everything out there, you know. And I say, without Travis,
I don't display properly.
Yeah.
I'm not a collector and I don't display anything, so it's all gone. Thanks.
Yeah, without Travis, there's a lot of us got, you know, he's an unbelievable guy, collector. I've only met him once. I've seen his collection a few times, and without that guy tonight, I want to say thank you so much, Travis, for coming on. It's unreal.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Anyway.
Really nice to meet you, and I'm in awe of the collection.
Yeah, check it out. If Mythic Legion seems like it's your thing, there's a lot of places where you can get out there and find information. Mythic Customs on YouTube is a great one. There's a ton of stuff. You just got to do a little digging, and they'll be smarter than I am for sure.
I'll definitely have you back on again, Travis. Like, man, it's been quite interesting, quite fun talking about just one toy line kind of thing. It's interesting.
Cool. So we'll talk about it here in the UK on the Toy Division chat on Wednesday nights with Andy and his 2 friends. All the groups keep mentioning it, and I thought, you know, I'll message Travis, see if he could come on, which he did. you know, it's without Travis, it's like now we can see what else is out there. It's like seeing new toys and new projects to go for. It sets your target for finding new stuff.
Am I going to see you in Chicago again?
I'll be there definitely in October. 100% in October.
Nice. I will see you then.
If you have any birds for sale, keep them for me, and I'll get Dave to get them for me.
Sounds good.
There's John, the Super Awesome Geek Show. So, hello, John.
Well, thanks a lot, guys.
No, you're welcome.
So, like I say, you're more than welcome to come back on at some point.
All right.
Just whenever you're free, kind of thing. You're more than welcome. Just speak to Dave, and Dave will organise it.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, guys.
You're welcome.
Stay safe, guys. Keep well. Don't forget, next week is Star Trek and Star Transformers week. Andy's Toy Division show beyond. So thanks again.
No problem. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you very much.
I see the Transformers is like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, because that might slightly change for next week, because I have got a shitload of Transformers.
Get them out. Get them out.
Thanks again, everyone, for liking the chat and everything else. So thanks, Baz.
You're
welcome,
welcome,
guys.
As I say, thanks for all coming on.